You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, General Hospital fans. Right now, Drew Cain thinks Willow Tait still wants to be with him, but no. She wants nothing to do with Drew because Willow blames him for losing her kids. She's only talking to him in case he can somehow help her get them back and avoid prison. But soon enough, Willow's going to have to tell Drew she is never, ever getting back together with him, and then things are going to explode. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we know eventually to expect huge fallout when Willow dumps Drew once and for all. And after Willow's done with him, of course, Drew will eventually pursue someone new, or someone new might pursue him, or it could be an ex. We'll see. We're going to talk about some romantic possibilities for Drew after Willow bails on him. But first, hit that subscribe if you're not following us. And let's talk about what unlucky lady in Port Charles might wind up saddled with Drufus. So once Willow finally kicks Drew to the curb, he may take just a minute to lick his wounds. And then we know, obviously, he'll move on. I mean, he's insane, he's immoral, and he has crazy eyes, but Drew is hot, and he has a great body, and he's rich. So somebody will take him on. Let's talk about who. First, let's talk about whether he'll hit up the most unlikely of his exes to rekindle with him, and that would be Carly. Back in 2022, Drew and Carly were absolutely scorching, and their flame may reignite after Drew finds out Willow actually loathes him and has no intentions of reuniting with him. And of course, Carly despises Drew right now, but once Willow dumps Drew on his butt, he may drop his vendetta against Michael, and that could soften Carly towards Drew. Plus, he did go to prison, so Carly wouldn't have to go. So Drew's got that going for him. And I mean, Carly's gotten back with other exes who did terrible things to her. So it's not unprecedented. I think Drew and Carly make sense in a way because they do have a shared history with ties to Jocelyn and Scout, and their passion was explosive. What's funny is some GH viewers actually think a reunion between Carly and Drew is inevitable. I don't feel that way, but we know Carly getting back with Drew would infuriate lots of people, especially Sonny and Jason and Michael. So Carly would face backlash from those closest to her. All right. There's also Nina to consider, another sort of ex. I mean, Drew and Nina would be a spicy and chaotic rebound. Drew and Nina have lots of unresolved sexual tension. Plus, they're both outcasts. Plus, it would be super creepy for him to almost marry her daughter and then go back to her. And, you know, that could be really interesting. Nina getting back with Drew would be a huge soapy mess. And fans would either love it or love to hate it. And if Willow didn't already hate Nina, she absolutely would despise her if she started shagging Drew again, or worse yet, developed a real relationship with him, which they didn't have before. I suspect Willow might vow to destroy both of them and get the ultimate double revenge. On the plus side, they might actually be good co-parents for Scout because Nina loves kids. And before, Drew and Nina, you know, it was just sex. So they haven't ever tried a relationship. They might vibe. All right, next up, let's talk about someone new for Drew, and that would be Ava Jerome. Now that Drew is a real bad boy, a true villain, maybe he needs a partner who's equally as devious as him. So why not pair up Ava and Drew as a villainous super couple? I will admit, Ava has mellowed quite a bit, but she's still one of the OG baddies on General Hospital. And Drew's downright ruthless when he feels that it's justified, and so is Ava. Neither of them have many limits on things they won't do. So we've seen how low Drew can go, and whenever we think Congressman Cutthroat can't do anything worse, he proves us wrong and does. So he and Ava might be a perfect fit. Plus, just imagine the chaos that a Drew and Ava pairing would cause. Because remember also, Nina is Ava's best friend, and she might not like it if Drew and Ava got together after everything Drew has done to her daughter. But then again, just in terms of him as her ex, I don't think Nina would care because she was fine with Ava dating her ex-husband, Rick Lansing. So she might be like, yeah, okay, your problem. Not a good choice, but okay. Sonny would go absolutely nuclear if Ava wound up with Drew, and their custody battle over Avery might reignite. Plus, Alexis and Christina might go back to hating Ava, and their newfound peace would go out the window. Plus, Ava getting with Drew might spark some jealousy in Rick, especially if Drew and Ava were super hot for each other and got all loved up and were doing a lot of PDA. That'd be really soapy because it would tick off a lot of people and probably cause massive ripple effects all over Port Chuck. All right, just for fun, let's throw Jacinda into the mix, the call girl turned personal assistant. A pairing with her and Drew could make waves. I could see the creepy congressman going after her simply because Michael likes Jacinda. So it'd be another thing Drew could take from his nephew if Willow walked away from him for good, which seems absolutely like it's going to happen. There's definitely a spark there between Jacinda and Michael. And even though they're faking their relationship right now, they're getting closer. And I see potential for Jacinda and Michael to have something real. So if Jacinda turned on Michael, especially to get with Drew, Michael would lose it, and Jacinda doesn't want to see the dark side of Michael. And as much as he runs his mouth, Drew has no idea what Michael's really capable of. And last but absolutely not least, let's talk about one last ex of Drew's who also happens to be single and at one point was actually head over heels for him. But that's also because she thought he was his twin brother, Jason Morgan. I'm talking about Elizabeth Weber, who hasn't had much of a story in such a long time. I mean, when Lucky came back and they rekindled, I was like, oh, okay, Liz is going to get a story. And a lot of the Liz fans were so excited. But then John Jackson turned around and quit the show again. And then they broke Liz and Lucky up and she just slid into being this accessory character. So maybe GH is going to go the redemption route and clean Drew up. And if so, Elizabeth is the perfect partner for him. Being with her got Franco a lot of acceptance around town and helped reform his image, and he was worse than Drew. I mean, Franco was a legit serial killer. Maybe Elizabeth could show Drew some kindness and some sympathy if he needed some comfort, and then they got to be friends again, and then she felt that same spark that Liz had for Drew before. And of course, that was in the Billy Miller days, God rest his soul, and when she thought he was Jason. We've never seen Elizabeth paired with the Cameron Mathison version of Drew romantically, but it might work. I don't know. I think fans will always hate Drew, and they're looking for somebody to come back and finish the job and put another 2 bullets in him, and then he's done and gone and no love interest necessary. But I don't know if that's ever going to happen. Frank Valentini seems to like him. So if Drew survives all of this, maybe he'll get into a romance with Carly or Ava or Nina or Jacinda or even Elizabeth. I mean, of all these, my money's kind of on Ava since she's least likely to be judgy. But if they want the redemption arc, it's got to be Elizabeth, right?
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.